Hey guys, welcome to TechTree's tutorial. Today we are going to talk about how to make Figma components. It is a step-by-step guide to follow easily. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. So let's dive right in. If you are not familiar with Figma, this is actually a powerful and user-friendly design tool that allows people to create digital designs, such as websites, mobile apps, and many more. So it is especially popular for collaborative design because it is a web-based and allows multiple people to work on a project simultaneously. So you could work together in real time and empower designers to create in new ways. Figma also offers a range of features for designing user interfaces, including tools for creating shapes, text, icons, and interactive prototypes. So as you can see, we have this new feature as well onto Figma, which is a dev mode wherein it is a new space in Figma for developers. Now onto this tutorial, we're gonna delve into creating components and variables. So this is what we will do for today. So these are actually essential tools for efficient and consistent design in Figma. So for components, these are usable design elements like buttons, navigation, icons, and when you create a component, you're essentially making a master version of that element you can use throughout your design. So if you need to make changes for it, you only have to update the master component and all instances of its design will automatically change. And we also have variables that are like a placeholder for design properties such as the colors, typography, spacing, and instead of manually updating each instance of a particular color or font size, you can use variables. So if you want to decide to change a color of a font size later on, you only need to modify the variable and all associated elements in your design will update accordingly. So for you to be able to get started onto using Figma, you could just head on to the description box below to go ahead and get redirected onto this website. Now once you're into this website, you're just going to go ahead and click the get started in here so that you could go ahead and create an account. Now, right after clicking onto that, it should give you an option to get redirected onto this page wherein it asks you to create an account using your Google, or you could type in your email, password, and there is a checkbox to agree to join Figma's mailing list. So you could go ahead and click onto create account, and by clicking onto that, you should agree to the Figma TOS and privacy policy. You could also use a single sign-on, and if you have an account already, just simply click onto login. So personally, I like to use this continue with Google feature since I don't have to remember any of my email or password. I just have to click onto the Google account that I want to use. Now, right after a quick login, you should get redirected onto the dashboard. So you have your account settings in here, your notification, the search bar to search for files, teams or people, the recent items, your teams, drafts, and you could also view different plans in here if you want to upgrade. So currently, we're using the starter for trying things out, but you also have the professional, which is the most popular for you and your team, with unlimited files and all the pro features, and the organization for bringing teams together, sharing an org-wide design system, and many more. So you could view the sea of features in here onto the bottom part so that you could go ahead and browse through the different features that the plan offers. We also have the favorite files, the teams in here, and you could create a new team in here, and the explore community so that you could go ahead and browse through the different templates that are offered by the community. So here you could see the designer templates and the recently viewed shared files and shared projects onto my account. Then if you just want to start onto creating a new design, you'll just head here onto the upper part. There is a design file in here, and then a Figma board, and also the import button if you want to go ahead and import some files from a different device. So you could just go ahead and click on the design file in here so that you could create a new design, and you could choose a theme, or you could just choose to have this one onto drafts. So let's click onto that so that we could go ahead and start creating a basic button component. Now, once you're already onto the editing page, the first thing that we'll need to do is start by creating a basic button. We're just gonna go ahead and press D onto your keyboard or press this D button in here. And then right after, we're gonna go ahead and drag it like that. And we're gonna label this as a button. So as you can see, we have button in here. Now, right after that, we're gonna go ahead and surround the text with an auto layout. And then right after, we're gonna go ahead and right click onto it. And then we're gonna go ahead and click add auto layout. Then right after that, we're gonna go ahead and adjust alignments, spacing, horizontal and vertical padding to style your button here onto this part of the frame. And then we could go ahead and head here onto the bottom part so that we could go ahead and try to change the color of the button. So we could have this one like this, a lighter, and then we're gonna go ahead and also add in a fill in here so that there would be a background. So we could try to use this color So we could try to click onto this one so that we could go ahead and have this at the same time. So as you can see, we could have our button like that. Let's gonna go ahead and click onto rename and then name it button to keep things organized. And now your basic button is ready. Now to add an icon, you'll just need to go to the assets panel in here, and you'll need to import an icon from a resource or the Figma community. Now right after, we're gonna go ahead and drag and drop the icon that we have chosen here to your button frame. So for example, we want to have this icon, we're gonna go ahead and drag and drop it in here. And thanks to auto layout, your buttons will adjust automatically. So we're gonna go ahead and make this one bigger. And now we could have this one. So let's zoom out a little bit so that it be really clear. And then right after, we're gonna go ahead and create a component. So we're gonna go ahead here and select the entire button frame. And we're gonna go ahead and click on create component here onto the upper part so that the selection turns into a component indicated by purple outlines. As you can see, it had become purple. So the component also has a master component icon into the top left corner. Now, since this button has become a master component, as you can see here onto the top left corner, we're gonna go ahead and use an instance of this so that we're just gonna go ahead here onto the assets. And as you can see here onto the page, it has gone ahead and saved this. We're gonna go ahead and drag and drop it here. And you just need to have this one updated, the master component if needed, and all instances will automatically update. So for example, we'll add 2 buttons in here. And then right after, we're gonna go ahead and update the color onto this button. So head here onto the fill. Let's change it to lighter red. And as you can see, all of instances will also automatically update. Now, if you want to just update the instance in here, you could go ahead and do so. For example, this button text in here, we're gonna go ahead and change this. So let's gonna go ahead and change this to click. And since this is just an instance button, the button or the main button in here would not change as well. Now let's gonna go ahead and add in some custom properties. Now to do that, just select the component instance, and here onto the right hand panel, we're gonna go ahead and search for the properties option. So this is located onto the bottom name in here, and then click onto the plus button to add in a custom properties like variant, boolean, instance swap, or text. So for example, we want to create a boolean property like has left icon. So we're gonna go ahead and click onto boolean in here, have this has left icon. And we're gonna go ahead and set it to true, and then we're gonna go ahead and create a property. You could use boolean to toggle specific elements on or off in your component instances. So similarly, you can create text properties and connect them into layers for easy text customization. Now right after that, once you click onto this and head onto the properties, you should see the has left icon. However, if you head onto this exclamation point, it says that it is not used within the component. So if you want to imply to have this icon in here, we're just gonna double click onto it, and then right after here onto the layer, you should be able to see this icon in here to apply the boolean property. So we'll click onto that and then click onto the has left icon. Now as you can see, we have already successfully linked it. And right after, you're just gonna go ahead and drag and drop an instant button in here if you don't have one yet. And since this one we've changed this earlier, let's delete that. Let's delete this as well. Let's drag in a new one. Then right after, if you don't want to see the left icon in here, and since we have toggled the has left boolean icon, we're just gonna go ahead and see it here onto the bottom part and just toggle it off so you don't see the icon anymore. So you could actually do the same thing with the text. So we're gonna go ahead and have the has text in here. Let's just click onto the button and then add in a property. Let's add a boolean. Let's add has text, and then right after, click onto create property. Right after that, we're just gonna go ahead and double click onto the button, click onto the layer in here, has text, and then right after, we're just gonna go ahead and drag and drop it in here, and then you're gonna go ahead here on to the button part, and you'll be able to toggle off the text in here. You'll just see this icon, so you can turn that one on and then turn off the icon as well. And now you could also do a lot of things here onto the properties, such as changing the text or instance swap or the variant in here. So if you don't want to see these properties as well, you could go ahead and simply right click onto it, and then you're gonna go ahead and see the delete property if you found this irrelevant. Now to create a variant, you're just gonna go ahead and click onto the main one in here, and then right after, you could see this add variant. So we're gonna go ahead and click onto that, and as you can see, it is already enclosed onto a violet thing in here. So just make sure, you could always move this, but just make sure not to move this outside the violet area so that you could go ahead and resize and reposition if needed. So we're gonna go ahead and resize this one out, make it bigger. So we're gonna go ahead and have this inside like that. Let's move this one out first. And then right after, we're just gonna go ahead and click onto the main one in here. And then we're gonna go ahead and set this one as a default. And then right after, since we've set this one onto default, let's go ahead onto the property 2 that we have in here. And here onto the current variant, we're gonna go ahead and just have this with the variant 2. Then right after, we could just go ahead and change the color of the fill in here. So let's make this one lighter so that we could use this one of the hover button. Now let's head here onto the prototype. And here onto the prototype, we're gonna go ahead and drag in an interaction from the component instance. So we're gonna go ahead and click onto this, and then right after, just click onto this plus button and then choose here while hovering. Then we're gonna go ahead, navigate to. So we're just gonna click onto the plus button in here. We have the while hovering. We're gonna go ahead and change to here. So we'll choose the variant 2 in here so that we could go ahead and have this thing while we hover onto this one button in here. So we have successfully added that, and there you have it. You've learned how to create Figma components and variants, add custom properties, and even prototype with them. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to comment it down below. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on to our next video.